your favorite album, your favorite band, but it sounds terrible. Can you really listen to that? I think music has to sound good to be good.
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41, Phil Spector's favorite spot on the internet.
Wow.
Sound.
Is he dead? Or is he rotting in jail?
I don't know.
I think he is. I don't know. That's a good question.
I actually don't know where he is now.
Huh.
There's a sordid history, isn't it?
For those of you who don't know, Phil Spector, probably one of the best producers, created the Wall of Sound.
Yeah.
What albums did he...
Wow.
Do you have any part of Live Aid?
No.
I'll
They should do that again.
They're going to.
They're talking about it.
For climate change.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, that's right. Talking.
How much litter is going to be left behind from that fucking show?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look what we did for the environment.
Anyway.
Wasn't
Geldof's involved
Wasn't
with it.
Spector involved with a lot of the Beach Boys stuff? Jan and Dean, the whole
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
the whole Wrecking Crew.
What
era?
did you actually want to talk about?
Oh yeah, what was I going to talk about? Brent's searching the internet. Is he alive?
He was convicted in 2009 of second-degree murder and has remained
Yeah, he's
incarcerated
alive.
since. So
Yeah.
he is now rotting in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there.
Yeah.
Well, there now
That's
we
what
know about
happens
Phil
when
Spector.
you shoot somebody that you refuse to pay after they have sex with you.
So
Allegedly.
what I want to talk about actually is Phil Spector.
Convictedly.
I've had a realization that I don't enjoy poorly recorded music, and I don't enjoy music that sounds bad. And by sounds bad, not in an opinionated, oh, I don't like this band because I don't like that genre of music. I don't like the sound of this album because it was poorly engineered, poorly recorded on a bad medium or through a terrible stereo system. That's where I stand. So you could have one of the greatest albums ever and put it through a very terrible sound system, and I don't want to hear it. Hearing music off of a single speaker cell phone, or
Okay, so you're talking about playback, not recording?
well, it
or
could be
both.
could be the other side of it. You could have the most beautiful sound system on the planet and put through an independent recording that was done by somebody who didn't know what they were doing and generate it. The songs might be brilliant. It could be brilliant songs, and I can appreciate the songs for the songs. But playing it back to me and me not hearing it in the quality or clarity that I'd like to hear drives me over the edge. I cannot do it. I used to be able to push through. I can't anymore. I've stumbled across numerous albums that I love that I can't listen to because the engineering is below a standard that I would deem acceptable.
Like what albums?
Some
Wonder
might
What's
say
Next by
persnickety.
Chevelle.
Yep.
Love
Good
the
example.
album. I love the songs on that Chevelle album. But my God, I cannot stand the sound of it. It's horrendous.
Which one I was interrupting you over here?
It's a Wonder What's Next by Chevelle, as an example.
That's your second album?
progress.
Or anything that's been remastered, including Nevermind by Nirvana, destroyed. Absolutely.
The
So you like the
remastering?
original?
The remastering?
Yeah, the
destroyed it?
remastering destroyed it because they tried to amp it to modern standards.
Ah, okay.
Or
I've not listened to
the remastering of Rage Against the Machine, Rage Against the Machine is terrible. It's unlistenable if you know what it should have been or what it could be, right? So my statement is music has to sound good to be good. In other words, you can have a brilliant band, brilliantly written songs in a terrible medium, and you present it to me, and I'm not going to be into it. And I would argue that a lot of people feel the same way, even if they can't identify it as to why. Just if it doesn't sound good.
I think the way a band sounds as far as sonically is only part of what I like about them. I like the energy. I like, I listen to bands that you would probably hate because of the sonic, how it sounds. But there's a raw energy to some of that stuff that, I don't know. I
That's how AC/DC's been in the music business for this long.
How's that? They sound good?
They sound good when they actually have a producer actually produce their albums. Highway to Hell, Back in Black, For Those About to Rock, well-written songs produced by Robert John Mutt Lange, who's done Foreigner, The Cars, everybody.
He's done
And
Shania Twain in more ways than one.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
She just recently did him too, right?
yeah. In another way.
Right up the ass. Ball Breaker, produced by Rick Rubin. The Razor's Edge, produced by Bruce Fairbairn. But everything other than that, produced by Angus and Malcolm's brother with Harry Vonda. And, I mean, the albums sound horrible.
Which album?
The songs are good, but the production, is just blow up your video, fly on the wall,
Yeah.
flick of the switch.
You take that back.
What? Take what?
Take that back right now. Badlands
I didn't
is a really well done AC/DC song.
I know, but it doesn't sound that great.
It sounds fantastic. I loved Flick of the Switch.
I like the album too. I have it. I'm an AC/DC fan, but because of their energy and the fact that they do listen to whoever's managing them from time to time and say, how about this time we don't let your brothers come in and we actually get somebody that knows how to have some craft in the studio. Because you would be, the first one to admit the albums that they have with the producer are on par, on average, better than the other stuff that they've actually put out.
What about High Voltage? I really like that album.
I love the album too.
Oh, okay.
But it's Henry Fonda and George Young.
Oh, okay.
When I bought Flick of the Switch on cassette, this was the days when you could go to the record store and flip through the bin. I'm like, oh, Flick of the Switch, what's this? Cool, I'll take that home. I liked it because it didn't sound like Back in Black.
It had a different sonic
It
quality.
had a different
It had
feel
no
to
sonic quality.
So,
it. Did my car.
so in another way, how do you feel about shoegaze, where it may be recorded well, but it's noise rock, or
There's material like that I really, really like.
Yeah.
A band, Baroness.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar with them.
I wouldn't call them shoegaze.
Not shoegaze,
yeah.
but they're noise.
Yeah.
Noisy stoner rock.
Tell the people what shoegaze is.
Please, enlighten.
Shoegaze was named shoegaze because it was a joke about them always looking down at their guitar pedals. Shoegaze is essentially like a lot of sound, a lot of not always rhythmically pleasing. It's just hitting you with as much sonic sound, and like bands like My Bloody Valentine,
Spectre rock.
yeah, I don't know, like it's noise. Like
So I could listen to when I'm angry?
yeah,
Oh, all right, cool.
Again, I would argue if you like that genre of music, if it's produced well,
yeah,
and by produced, I'm not talking about someone saying, well, you should have done that verse different or that chorus different.
engineered.
But engineered well and mastered well and produced or reproduced on a system that does it justice, then absolutely.
Okay.
I'll give you an example of where this idea came from. I was sitting around the table with the kids, and we were talking about stuff that we liked, and my oldest daughter heard me mention a band and immediately pulls out her phone and scrolls through Google Play and finds it and then starts playing it on her phone. No Bluetooth speaker, no nothing. And it's a song that I love. But within about 30 seconds, because of the sonic quality of a cell phone sitting on a table, I was getting annoyed.
Really?
I was just like, oh, I can't stand this. It's like, if you had it dimed louder than you could stand to listen to it on a really nice speaker, it wouldn't bother me. It wasn't a volume thing. It was the shrill tinniness of a cell phone speaker that
Was it
drives me over the edge.
Like the frequencies that were messing with you? Like,
And I totally didn't enjoy the listening to that song.
right.
But that's not the production of the song. That's the
Again, back to what I said.
Either way, though.
Either way,
Okay.
if you recorded it to sound tinny and terrible by accident or by purpose, whatever that may be, and played it back on a nice sound system, it's still going to get the same response from me.
Have you listened to any of Daniel Johnson's stuff?
I don't know.
Especially the... Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. He's a singer-songwriter, and a lot of his stuff is very, very raw and poorly, I was wondering what you...
There's some stuff I've listened to that was recorded raw, and I mean like you're talking 2 mics into an analog deck and no post-production and whatever else. But it's not painful.
Right.
Right?
There's still like dynamics.
Yeah, there's dynamics and it's not like...
Still good songwriting.
I'll give you another example that I had it in the weekend.
But he's saying good songwriting does not make a good song.
That's not necessarily the issue. I mean, that also is a factor. We'll assume that the music's good, the musicians are good, it meets what qualifies for genres that you like. I'm just talking sonic reproduction. If it doesn't sound good, it is not good, no matter what it is. It could be something that you love. It is not good when you hear it that way.
Yeah, I'm not with you.
I'm not either, and I've got an example, but
You just killed the 8-track comeback.
Or the cassette comeback, or anything else. Even vinyl, dare I say, doesn't
Floppy
sound...
disk.
Could you?
I went way to hell on 84 floppy disks.
Yeah, I was wondering how much 192 kilohertz audio could you fit on a floppy disk? Like 2 seconds, 3 seconds?
Well, I thought you meant the actual songs that are played by making floppy disks.
Oh,
that's
geez.
not what I was
The floppy disk
Those are
players,
freaking
those are
awesome.
cool.
That is pretty cool.
What was your
cool.
example, Brent?
Well, his entire genre, all of that he has listened to and that we have listened to in the realm of rock and roll, is based, if you go back far enough to most artists, to Robert Johnson
Right.
and his recordings
Are horrendous.
because they were that's what they had for equipment at the time.
Yeah.
But from that sprung what you're listening to today
Zeppelin,
in
clear
many
up, yep.
cases, because that was the guy they chased.
So I'm going to give you a context for that, though. I'll put some context around that.
Okay.
If you backed up time right now and left me the same age and wiped my memory from all knowledge of audio quality and played me Robert Johnson, because there was no recorded material before Robert Johnson, I'd probably be pretty impressed by that. The fact that I didn't have to wait for that guy to show up at the local pub to play a guitar.
Yeah.
But then you move ahead to 50s, 60s when recording mediums started to grow. We went from single track to multi-track to from being 4 tracks to 8 to 16 to 32, and then into high quality tape, and then into digital, and now digital surpassing like even analog gear in the days gone by. And I know some analog freaks out there would argue with me, but trust me, they're emulating the analog equipment that made things sound the way they sounded to the point where you can't tell the difference anymore.
But we've also come to the point where now they put the pops and the scratches and the cracks
I've done it.
from the record. Yeah, so you're that's a backwards move in your opinion.
If it sounds
because
good to do that,
yeah, but that's part of the poor quality. Would you
maybe
not agree?
not always.
When you're,
there's times where that works though.
but that's not part of the song
It is, though.
originally. When it was recorded in the studio.
Yeah, I've
That
done some
wasn't-
studio sessions where I had to go in and they said roll the tape and I went.
I believe that. So that's what I thought.
So I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Like if there's a vocal line that sounds in the creator's mind, it would sound amazing if it sounded like it was coming through headphones, like you're standing away from somebody that's wearing headphones and it sounds like it's
Like
like
an
you've heard that,
effect.
and then
Yeah.
it gradually fades into the full thing.
Yeah.
That effect is cool. That wasn't part of the recording session, so to speak. It was a post-production decision that was made to make it sound that way.
Right.
Things used as an effect. So again, using static and scratch and tape speed and
works.
tape warping
Yeah.
absolutely is an effect, and it works very, very well. And it's something I enjoy in the right way. But again, okay, so let's put it in another context. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the most infamously sonically pleasing albums ever created. If you put that through one of those, the horns they put outside at events.
Oh,
They
yeah.
used to like
The big wide.
they're like a bullhorn, and they have no frequency response
It's
at all.
like a
They're
tractor pull.
yeah, exactly, just like a tractor pull. That happened to have 8 of those.
Oh god.
Not where I was sitting, but when I walked into that field of view of that's exactly one of the moments that I had. That doesn't matter what that song was, it's going to suck. If you put Fleetwood Mac Rumors through one of those horns and listen to it, you could not sit and tell me that you enjoyed that experience.
No.
And no one could. And that's my point. Music has to sound good to be good. I'm not saying the song isn't good. I'm not saying that the recording's not good. I'm saying that the experience of listening to it at that point sucks.
It makes me think of MASH.
It is.
Exactly.
That's what they had, and the announcements and the music and everything played across that same speaker.
It's so tinny and just raw. And they're so sharp. And the frequency range of them is like this wide. You know what I mean? Like the spectrum of sound this wide, there's that much coming through. And it crams it all into that one space. It's amazing. It's awesome.
You're a Twisted Sister fan. Okay,
I'm a twisted mother of how does that go?
Sick motherfucker.
Sick
SMF.
SMF.
You're an ass. Okay, so the album came out in '84. Stay Hungry.
That was what drew me in. Yeah.
4 hits on it and made Dee Snider a household name, and the band went. So
after slaving themselves for 15 years to get there.
And after being told that what he didn't want to do, no, you need to do it this way. And then he gave in, and yeah. Anyway, carry on.
The band was not happy with how the album was produced, how the album was engineered, just not happy with the production whatsoever. So they re-recorded it about 10 years ago, they called it Still Hungry. And
Still hungry.
well, and you can actually, one of the things that Dee Snider said, now you can actually, in moments of the record, understand what I'm saying. And it's true. You play the original and you play the re-recorded version, you can actually make out the lyrics and everything. However, sonically and musically, it's just, even though they're the same songs, I like the sound of the 1984.
Oh yeah,
better than I do.
And there's some nostalgia there too, right?
Yeah, that's what we heard.
Better than
that's
I do even though they, different producer, and they took the because back then around the '84 it was all about the you want to be heavy metal or light alloy or whatever you want to call it, but you got to have that poisony kind of Def Leppard. You got to be on the radio, and you got to have the girls. And
did they redo their performance? Is that what you're saying?
Completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
They weren't happy with it from microphone forward, apparently.
I'll have to check that out then. So,
what do you think, Ryan?
I have no opinion on this matter.
Oh, you got to have an opinion. I know you don't care. That you don't care for music. You don't listen to a lot of music.
I'm not a.
So actually, your opinion would matter more than most.
oh, good point.
That's right.
So my untrained ear probably wouldn't pick up what you would pick up and say that sounds bad. I am probably going to be listening to the lyrics and the rhythm more than anything. And if it sounds a little tinny, I might not notice, other than say, well, fuck, is the treble up too high, or is the bass, I might get to that level, but I'm not going to say, oh, well, that knob on that frequency board is in the wrong position. I don't even know if I'm making sense saying this. No, that's how little I know.
So you do know about music. You sit on a fucking throne of lies.
Yeah, at your house.